YouTube voiceover script 12001-350 words cinematic retelling version. You ever had someone crash their Jeep through your fence twice and still pretend it was an accident? Yeah. Well, that was the moment I realized this wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a declaration of war. Now, I'm not some hothead. I'm Gordon Webb, retired chemical engineer. Quiet guy. I spend most of my time in the garden, making tomato sauce for my daughter Ellie. That's my peace. But in Fox Hill Meadows, peace is exactly what the HOA doesn't want you to have. Linda Harrington, HOA president. Tennis skirt. Flawless blonde bob. Drives a $70,000 white Jeep like she's in a demolition derby. Had it out for me from the moment she saw my yard. Why? Because I had tomatoes. That's it. 2 little plants Ellie loved. Not exactly a crime. Right? Wrong. One morning, she marches up to my porch like she owns the place and says, "Your yard violates the community aesthetic standards." I tell her, the new rules don't kick in until next week. She smiles, fake as her eyelashes, and says, "Oh, the board moved that up. Check your spam folder." Spoiler, there was no email. There were no real standards. Just her standards. Then she spots the tomato plants. Fruit-bearing plants attract wildlife. She says, "They're unsanitary." I told her, "They're for my daughter." She didn't care. Threatened fines. Called my plumber's truck a violation. Even said maybe I didn't belong in her neighborhood. Let me tell you something, when a petty tyrant tells you to leave your own home, that's not about policy. That's about power. But it didn't stop there. A few days later, I'm sipping coffee at sunrise. And boom, her Jeep plows through my fence. Tires ripping through Ellie's tomato patch. And Linda? She steps out, adjusts her sunglasses, and says, "Oops, must have confused your house with mine." Mind you, our addresses are 143 and 191, and mine has a garden. Hers has artificial turf. I called Chief Landry, local police. Old friend of mine. I showed him footage from my hidden camera. It caught her looking straight at the lens, then flooring it. He shakes his head. "Gordon, I believe you. But her husband's got half the city council in his pocket. File an insurance claim and lay low." That's when it clicked. This wasn't just HOA nonsense. This was a rigged game. And I was the test subject. So I went quiet. But not passive. See, I didn't spend 25 years in military chemical labs for nothing. I mixed a paint harmless, legal, non-toxic, but once it hits polyurethane car coating, it bonds permanently. No wash, no buff, no repaint. I repainted the new fence with my little secret, then installed motion sensors. Buried a few surprises in the lawn, and just in time, too. Because guess who rolled in a week later at midnight? That's right. Black hoodie, no headlights, spray can in hand. Linda was back. And this time, her husband Andrew was behind the wheel. He thought she was planting something worse. He panicked, slammed on the gas, crashed through the fence. Boomy trap activated. Sprayers hit the Jeep like a rainbow cannon. Red, orange, fluorescent green. Purple. It looked like a pride parade collided with a paint factory. Linda's scream woke the entire neighborhood. I stepped out, filming. Another unfortunate accident. Mrs. Harrington? She was losing it. Her face turning redder than her now tie-dyed Jeep. "You'll pay for this," she shrieked. But Landry pulled up again. Saw the footage. Saw the can of spray paint. And Andrew? He spilled it all. "She was going to plant fake drugs in your yard. I thought she was vandalizing." Silence. Even Linda couldn't spin that. Next day, I get a letter. Remove all chemical equipment within 48 hours or face a $500 daily fine. Signed by William Harrington, Linda's dad, and acting chairman of the HOA board. That's when I realized This wasn't personal. It was systemic. So I showed up at the next HOA meeting. With receipts, financial reports, emails. I exposed how Harrington Landscaping got paid $45,000 for upgrades that never happened and that the company was registered to Linda's cousin. I wasn't just growing tomatoes anymore. I was planting evidence. Then the real retaliation began. Daily inspections. Fake violations. My water bill tripled. One inspector actually accused me of breeding venomous snakes. I stayed calm. I recorded everything. Because I wasn't fighting just for me anymore. I was fighting for Helen across the street, who got fined for her bird bath. For the Rodriguezes, who had to remove their wind chimes. For anyone who ever got bullied by a polo shirt dictator with a clipboard. And then came the perfect stage, the community picnic. Linda's pride and joy. I showed up with a little cart labeled Reed's Organic Fertilizer. Gave the landscapers a clear liquid to pour into the water tanks for the fountain show. It'll help the grass shine for the mayor. I said what it actually did. At 2 p.m., right as Linda gave her big speech about excellence and community pride, the sprinklers launched into the sky and turned bright fuchsia, then lime green, then highlighter yellow. The mayor's white suit was soaked. William's jacket looked like a melted skittle. Linda's floral dress turned into modern art. I just stood there, calm, smiling, holding my phone. Ellie stepped up, handed the mayor a legal packet. 27 homeowners. Class action suit. Harassment. Fraud. HOA abuse. Then Andrew walked up. Quiet. Hands me a pen. Signs divorce papers right in front of everyone. I'm done, he says. I want to live like a human being again. Linda? She snapped, screaming, mascara running, covered in pink and purple blotches. She ran off stage and straight into the restroom. She didn't come back out. A month later, I moved to a quiet place outside the city. No HOA. Just a simple house and a garden full of thriving tomatoes. Ellie visits on weekends. Helen moved nearby too. And Andrew? He's dating a woman who teaches art and sent me a thank you card. On the back of it, a photo of Linda's Jeep still rainbow-colored parked in front of his new house. She's long gone. But the war? It left its mark. Now, here's the part one want to hear from you about. Was I wrong to set the trap? Was that too far? Or did I finally give a bully exactly what she deserved? Let me know in the comments. Because I'm starting to think. Sometimes the best way to bring down a corrupt system is one tomato at a time.